Yes, you read that title correctly. Demogorgon is overpowered. Now, I don't personally believe this myself, but there is a lot of discussion going around saying that the Demogorgon is actually very overpowered. So what we're going to do this match, if you can already see, I'm not playing as Demogorgon, and the killer is not Demogorgon, because PlayStation 4 users basically get the middle finger from behavior, and we don't get any new DLCs or anything that's new in the game. We don't really get it until like a month or 2 months or something like that after the PlayStation or after the PC users get it. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about the Demogorgon being overpowered, which we're going to talk about his 3 perks, because the Demogorgon in itself is basically just another hag. I mean, in essence, really, that's what it is. But we're going to talk about the 3 perks, which are Surge, Cruel Limits, and Mindbreaker. So starting with Surge, putting a survivor into the dying state with a basic attack causes all generators within a radius of 24 meters to instantly explode and regress. Surge applies an additional regression of 12%. Surge can only be triggered once every 60, 50, or 40 seconds. Now, in my opinion, this perk definitely is a little bit overpowered. If you put this perk with something like Hex Ruin, you can really do a lot of damage to people's generators. Now, I know that generators was always a big topic of discussion with killers. They didn't like that generators were getting done really fast, and I didn't really understand that because I'm a survivor main, and a lot of times generators do not really get done that fast. That's if you're playing not with a survivor friends at least. But with this Surge, it's like 12% regression every 40 seconds. Now, a generator, just like I'm doing right now, for one person, takes 80 seconds to complete. So if you have teammates that go down near you every 40 seconds, your generator would regress 12%, 24%, and that's not counting with Hex Ruin, which if they have like the 3rd tier of it, would go down another 5% if you were to miss the skill check. So that one I can kind of agree that's a little overpowered. If you're in a right situation, you have Ruin, you might have Discordance or something like that, that one can be a little bit overpowered. I think they need to move the times to 60 seconds, 55 seconds, and 50 seconds, personally. Next is Cruel Limits. So each time a generator is repaired, all windows, and we got the Ruin Ice, all windows and vault locations within a radius of 24 meters from the completed generator are blocked for all survivors for the next 20, 25, 30 seconds. Now this to me is a problem where it says it's blocked for all survivors. I believe that, let's say I finish this generator that I'm working on now. I think that the window should only be not vaultable only to me. I don't think it's fair to have all the survivors, because what if someone is getting chased and they just happen to run by you? They're going to die 100% of the time, because survivors rely on 2 things. They rely on windows and they rely on pallets, and neither of them are safe, because a killer can just hit you through a window anyway, and pallets, a killer could just hit you through pallets. But this just makes it even harder for survivors. Personally, in my opinion, I think it's too long. I think 30 seconds is a really long time. You can't, there's only so many times that you can loop something without the killer catching you. You need windows. So I think if they change it to maybe 5, 10, 15 seconds, I think that would make it a little bit more fair. But I guess 24 meters isn't that far, but still, if you're relying on windows to survive, this is something that needs to be kind of changed, because this is kind of overpowered, in my opinion. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And lastly is Mindbreaker. While repairing generators with less than 50% repair progression, survivors are afflicted by the exhausted status effect. Any existing exhaustion status effect timers are paused while the survivor is repairing the generator. After ending the repair action, the survivor is afflicted by the exhausted status effect for 1, 2, or 3 seconds. Now this one I believe is underpowered, but I don't think they should change this one anyway. It's just kind of one of those perks that no one will use, because at the end of the day, once you hear the heartbeat, you just literally have to stop working on the generator, crawl away, and in 3 seconds, if the killer has the tier 3 perk, you get your dead heart back, you get your sprint burst back. So I think this one really doesn't matter too much. So Cruel Limits and Surge, in my opinion, are 2 kind of overpowered perks, in my opinion, but only if you combine them with something else. By themselves, okay, whatever, but if you combine them with Ruin, Discordance, other things like that, it makes it kind of difficult. Now, There is a chart from Dead by Daylight saying how long it takes survivors to repair. 1 survivor, 2 survivor, 3 survivor, 4 survivor. And this is kind of the problem that killers have, is that if there happens to be, which there is very, very rarely, 4 survivors working on a generator, it takes less than 30 seconds. And if there's 3 survivors working on a generator, which also rarely ever happens, it takes 33 seconds. Now, all the killer has to do is run discordance, and the killer can get to the generator right away, hit one teammate, hit another teammate if he really wants to, and most people will run away from the generator. Now, see what this Fang did? I really like that Fang did this. Instead of trying to teabag and get me to heal her, instead what she wanted to do was finish the generator and, you know, try to leave this map. So good on that Fang. Another teammate is down, but I see why the Fang did it. She had adrenaline, so. But overall, in my opinion, with Demogorgon, I like him as a killer. I just don't like 2 of the 3 perks, especially not Mindbreaker. Was it Mindbreaker? No, it wasn't Mindbreaker. It was Surge. I think Surge combined with Ruin and Discordance, I think, well, not even Discordance, but just with Ruin by itself, would make it very, very difficult for survivors. Because on PlayStation 4, not only is it harder to escape a killer, but now it's like your generator explodes, which I didn't even go over that. If the generator explodes near the killer, guess what? The killer knows that you are working on that generator, so he's gonna come there regardless. He's gonna kick the generator, and what if the killer has overcharged with that too? Now you missed that skill check, and of course the trapper has Baby Noed. Now you missed the overcharge skill check, you have Hex Ruin up, and you have Surge. That's just a recipe for not getting any generators done. Basically 0 gens would get done that map. Even if you don't even have to play as Demogorgon. You could play as someone like Nurse or Hillbilly that can traverse the map like in light speed. I think that those are just a little bit too powerful. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments about those perks. And we are in a sticky situation. I really hope this So I wish I could tell my teammates not to run there. Also, let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about in-game voice comms? Like, you could talk to your teammates if you wanted to. Now, this necessarily doesn't mean that you have to talk to people. I believe that there should be a mute option. If you want to play the way you want to play and you want to mute everybody, I think that'd be very good. But when you're adding all of these different perks, that makes it extremely difficult for survivors. And I know what people will say. They're going to say, look, it's not difficult for survivors. But in reality, it really is kind of difficult for survivors, because not everyone plays Survive with friends. You know, like me, I never ever play with Survive with friends, so I'm pretty much relying on my team to be good, and a lot of times they're not really that good. So I think that having a voice comm, I think it'd be good for the match. But that's me personally. I've been playing this game for 2.5 years, and I think that would be a good idea. I play both Killer and Survivor, so I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. So hopefully this, who is it, Claudette? Hopefully this Claudette can get the save, and off we go. I saw that the door was being opened on the other side over here. There's no point in me running left and running into the killer, especially with Noed. I can hear the heartbeat, so that means the killer is catching up, but I don't think the killer will be able to catch me at this point. I feel like I'm home free. The teammate on the hook, I believe, is going to die. Yeah, killed himself, but that's just kind of what happens. One person died, and killer's just not really a strong killer. Oh, actually, this guy looks like he died too. Never mind. Well, I mean, I had to leave there. I couldn't really do much. If I try to save him, he'll just no-ed me too, and we're both going to be down on the ground. But anyways, this was a good game. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about Demogorgon and his perks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.